So checking out waves, it looks like we've completely taken out all of the lows at this point. We've been talking about this basically every single episode on waves since we had the blow off top at $60, but everything looks pretty bad on waves right now. The chart looks bad. Waves is getting bashed for supposedly being a Ponzi scheme. We're seeing a tiny bit of volume coming in the past 8 hours, really because Bitcoin had a bounce. But most interestingly, most of the altcoins are having a bounce. Like, we're seeing a relief rally in terms of the altcoins. But Bitcoin's really chopping around, not doing too much today. Waves is pretty much break even as of the time of recording this. The bears are very much in control of the momentum that we've got right now. It was only 24 hours ago, yeah, literally exactly 24 hours ago, we came back into your 4-hourly EMAs and we got rejected. So we're not looking good. I definitely wouldn't be looking to trade this right now. I see a lot of people asking me, you know, I've been holding waves since $30, I've been holding since $60, what should I do? And, you know, while I can't advise what you should do with your own money, all I can say is that really I would have personally never got into this. So my opinion on what you should do with your money is kind of irrelevant, because I'm not in a trade, so I really wouldn't know what I would do if I was in a trade for waves. I would not want to be in a trade for waves, though. I feel like even DCAing at these supposedly cheap levels is probably not a good idea, because, you know, like I say in all my videos, the trend is your friend until the end. While you've got such a clear downtrend like this, there's absolutely no point in trying to fighting it. No matter which way you draw your fib, your absolute lowest fib is your 786 at $18, and we've completely closed below there. So this entire new all-time high that we've done is completely invalidated, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but if I do, let me just say this: it is not a good sign when you've got a crypto with an all-time high that spends ages accumulating. That's a good thing in itself, and then it pumps out of absolutely nowhere while it's accused of being a Ponzi scheme. Its USD stablecoin, ticker symbol USDN, loses its stablecoin status to $1, and then your project starts dumping all the way back to your previous bear market lows. I mean, it's not good. What we're seeing with waves is terrible. I would hazard a guess that the project is probably done at this point. I don't think many people are going to be returning to waves. I mean, if we come over to our oscillators for waves, I'm sure they're completely undersold at this moment, or oversold rather, at this moment in time. But your oscillators like the money flow indicator and the RSI, they can't account for what happens when you get quote-unquote rug pulled, when you get called a Ponzi scheme, or at least its stablecoin got rug pulled. I mean, whether you want to call this a rug pull or not, I don't think this was, you know, the devs rug pulling. I literally just think that they got in bad press. They pumped out of nowhere while their USDN stablecoin dumped, so they were accused of pumping their crypto while their stablecoin dumps, and then subsequently it caused, you know, waves to take a landslide off the table. Either way, even if you are a fan of waves, I think while Bitcoin is chopping around and having this bearish price action, I really don't think it's sensible to go overly crazy with the altcoin trades. And waves is clearly in such a bearish downtrend. Like I said, you know, the bears are in full control of the squeeze mom. We're having a huge momentum shift to the downside as of the time of recording this. On your 1 hourly EMAs, these have also been super strong resistance for a very long period of time. We sometimes come into them, like normally when we retest them, we actually poke our head above them. Quite recently though, in the last 4 hours or so, we actually came up to the 1 hour EMAs and got rejected off the short-term moving average. So I would expect lower price targets for waves. We've been sitting on the sideline for waves literally since $60. If you've watched my content on waves when we were at $60, we were considering entering a trade before they got called a Ponzi scheme, but we were talking about needing to see a retest of the all-time high. And then once we slipped below the all-time high, it was like, okay, if we hold the 618, then, you You know, that has to be your last line in the sand at $29 rather. And once we took that out, it was basically done for. Since then, we've invalidated absolutely every moving average. We've invalidated every Fibonacci, every micro, every macro fib, every trend line that you can possibly think of. We are below it for waves right now. So trend is your friend until the end. We're in such a huge downtrend. I would not try and fight it. We reached my price target down here at $13.52, so I should probably set a new price target. I think I'm going to keep it simple. I talked about this support box in my previous videos. I think the psychological level of $10 is going to be very strong. But really, I think with the way the markets are moving right now, I don't think it's out of the question for waves to come back down and sweep the lows. So honestly, it really depends. If we do start tanking below $12, which I do think we are, if we move this up to the wicks that we've got here, actually this will encompass the closes and then the wicks here. If we have a daily move below $12.25, in my opinion, we're coming down to sweep the lows at $7.60, which is a huge move to the downside. Bear in mind, we've been taking this one step at a time. When we were at $60, we were calling for $40. When we were at $40, we were calling for $30. When we were at $30, we were calling for $20 and then $16. Then most recently we called for 14. Well, I mean, once again, we're just moving our goalpost lower in every video. In my opinion, there's no point in trying to catch this falling knife. And can I even call this a falling knife? At this point, this is like, you know, having a pirate ship fire a cannonball at you and you put your hand out to try and catch the cannonball. I think you're going to get your hand blown off if you try and DCA these levels. That's just my opinion. A strange comparison to draw it to, but nonetheless, that's where my brain went with that one. But yeah, like I said, you're sitting on your last line of support. If we have a daily move below $12, then like I say, I think $7 would be the next on the table. I don't think it's wise to DCA while the knife is falling like this. Like I said, whether you want to consider this a cannonball or a knife, if you're going to try and catch a falling knife while it's being, you know, thrown at this speed, it's going to go through your hand, and you're gonna your bags are gonna bleed out, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think you should try and catch the knife. What you do is completely up to you. I don't give financial advice. I'm just letting you know what I plan on doing and what I see in the market when I look at this chart. And from what I see from waves, it looks terrible. I would not be touching this right now. Trend is your friend until the end. I'd be expecting a move low. If we have a reversal out of nowhere, then so be it. You know, you'd probably rather DCA a reversal. Like, say for example, if you consider a move back above the 786 and the daily EMA ribbons a reversal, then $19 to $20 could be the reversal point. That's a lot better than the people who got in at $63 hoping for, you know, higher price targets. So we'll take this one step at a time. While it's bearish like this, we've got to keep on calling for lower price targets. I do think $7 is on the table, but keep your eyes on $12. The oscillators are completely oversold, but like I said, they do not account for the news that is going on right now. They do not account for what is going on in the general markets with Bitcoin dumping, the stock market dumping. So we'll take this one step at a time. I'm not touching waves. I'm on the sidelines. That's all I've got for you today. As always, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion on the market. And as always, cowboy out. Peace.